It's Bourbon Night. Hello, I'm Chad.
I'm Sarah.
Welcome back to another bourbon hunting
Challenge edition. Oh, is that that's what this is? Okay. I do love these. It's fun. We never know what we're going to get from the great gumball machine.
You never know the gumball. Here, we're going to give it a...
It's got some quarters in there.
Oh. All right, Sarah, if you do the honors, please.
I shall. Today's quarter is brought to you by patron and longtime bourbon knight, Drew Bolin. Thanks, Drew. All right, Chad.
Okay.
Tell us what we got.
Today, we will be hunting for...
High West, a Midwinter Night's Dram.
A Midwinter Night's Dram is made by High West Distillery located in Park City, Utah, though it contains their own and sourced distillate.
The proof is 98.6 and it uses their own 80% rye and 20% malted rye, combined with a 95% rye, 5% malted barley from MGP located in Indiana.
At this point, the whiskey is known as Rendezvous Rye, which by itself sells for around $80. But to become a Midwinter Night's Dram, it is then finished in ex-Tawny and Ruby Port barrels.
This bottle is non-age dated and currently out of stock on the distillery's website, but normally sells for $149.99.
It's released once a year, usually around October, so we hope there's still some out there in February.
I mean, it's not really the season for it, but there might still be one floating around.
Yeah, might be. The thing about that is if there is one still floating around, it's probably floating around for a reason, meaning someone is, got it priced still a little too tall. Of course, the challenge doesn't end there.
No, we gotta spin the wheel of chance or whatever we call it.
Terms and conditions.
Terms and
conditions. We called it
conditions.
last time. All right, give her a go.
Oh.
New stores only.
We go to a lot of stores.
These new stores, will they?
We don't know what their selection's like.
It's the gamble. It's a wild card. It's a maverick.
Are you a thesaurus?
Yeah, I was trying to. I still didn't get to the word I wanted.
Never call me a thesaurus.
Okay, it's Guardians of the Galaxy quote.
The Wheel of Terms and Conditions gave us the extra challenge of only shopping at stores never featured before in this series.
Our time starts now, so let's get to it. New stores only presents a challenge.
It does, because obviously we pick the stores we go to for a reason. But hey, who knows, we might discover something new.
We looked up stores we haven't been to. That's the plan. I got the shirt with the pocket in case I need to go incognito mode where I set the phone in the thing.
I'm not doing that.
All right, here we go.
Bye.
Liquor Lot is the first stop. This is a place that I've driven past.
We drive by it so much, we just never stop.
Several times, and I'm always like, oh, Sarah, we should go in there sometime.
And I was like, sure.
So I guess getting this as the challenge is kind of good. It's gonna introduce us to some new places here in Lexington.
Yeah.
So let's Liquor Lot it. I hear they have a lot of liquor. And a lot of liquor they did have. Just look at all these huntable bottles, including this box right here, which any eagle-eyed hunter will recognize as BTAC and E.H. Taylor bottles. But yeah, they were for secondary prices. Let's take a look in the normal aisles though. It's crazy to say, but Buffalo Trace is not on the shelves every day here, so it's nice finding it. A lot of the normal fare here, but I did spot a bottom shelf beauty that I didn't recognize. Bellows Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Looks awful. I have to have it. The better pickup would have been JTS Brown Bottled in Bond behind it, but we have plenty of those at home, so the Bellows wins out and is going home for my bottom shelf collection. Here's 4 good wins in a row. Knob Creek 12-year, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof and Toasted, and Heaven Hill Bottled in Bond. No price tags is never a good sign, but at least they're not behind the counter and there's plenty of them. But the only High West bottle in here is the Rendezvous Rye. And we did ask about the Midwinter's Night Dram, but no luck.
It's one of those places where I think it really pays to ask what's behind the counter. I mean, yes, of course, things were marked up and he had single bottles of a lot of stuff that a lot of people would want, but it was back there.
I asked the price of Eagle Rare. That's sort of becoming like
It's a benchmark.
the bar. It was $84, so not $100 like we see it around here, but also not, what, $45?
Right.
What it should be.
Yeah. If I needed one and had the money,
Yeah.
you could, but I wish we could go to Liquor Barn.
Now, yeah, we've been to liquor barns before, but what if it's a liquor barn specifically that we haven't been to on this series hunt?
I don't know, that feels kind of cheating, Chad. I think maybe we'll save it for last, just in case.
If we run into some trouble, maybe we hit the barn.
Okay.
Eastland Liquor was next, and Chad didn't want to be that guy who had his camera out in the store the whole time, so please forgive this incognito pocket cam footage. Here's another store with a lot of chased bottles available, which means secondary prices mostly. More on that in a minute. So at least there's a good chance they might have Midwinter Night's Dram, but no. They were flush with Buffalo Trace distillery products, including our favorite bourbon of last year, George T. Stagg, but the secondary price of $800 is what keeps us from grabbing it.
Okay, Eastland, another place we haven't been to.
Oh, it's a bit off the beaten path for us.
TJ in there, met him, really cool guy, talked with him for a while. A lot of good selection, of course, and you recognize this, if it's actually there, it's because it's above retail. He takes care of the locals. So if you shop there, buy your normal stuff there, you can get the allocated, sought after stuff for less than just someone from out of state or out of town just coming in trying to snipe things.
Kind of doing what we're doing. I mean, we're not regulars there right now, but we could be.
We're trying to snipe one thing in particular.
That's true.
That's right.
We didn't find what we were looking for, so we gotta keep looking.
High Acres was the next stop, and this is the only second time I've seen Wild Turkey Generations for sale. They also had some Stag and Taylor and what's nots, but not a whole lot behind glass. A decent selection here, as you can see, but after another spot without the bottle in question, we weren't going to leave without this Four Roses single barrel, barrel proof OESK for $99 and an Eagle Rare for $60. Struck out again. I've been asking.
Not surprised though.
No,
it's really
not surprised. It's out of season. It's
yeah.
out of season. And the response has always been like, no.
No.
Did get a Four Roses pick.
A store pick, very good.
It's $99. Yeah, they've gone up, but you know, it's a close to 10-year.
It was about 10 years.
OESK.
Barrel proof.
Yeah.
And they had the best price on Eagle Rare that we found so far. He let it go for $60, which again I know is over, but compared to what we've been seeing between 80 and 90.
Yeah, it was
around here.
All right, 3 down. Let's hit some more.
Hate feeling miserable after a bourbon night? Same.
Luckily, we have ZBiotics, and we've had it in our life for a while now. Sarah, it was the big game just not too long ago.
And it's a work day the next day.
Yeah, so you know we both took some ZBiotics,
right.
Pre-probiotic before that.
Just one bottle of ZBiotics is less than the cost of your favorite old-fashioned, but nothing beats the price of a fresh morning, does it?
It's true.
ZBiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic.
It was invented by PhD scientists to help you feel better the morning after drinking.
Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut.
It's this byproduct, not dehydration, to blame for your rough next day.
ZBiotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down.
Just remember to make ZBiotics your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. Go to zbiotics.com or scan the QR code on the screen now to get 15% off your first order when you use Bourbon Night at checkout.
You can also sign up for a subscription using our code so you can stay prepared no matter the time or occasion.
ZBiotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee, so if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money.
No questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/bourbonnight and use code bourbonnight for 15% off at checkout.
Thanks to ZBiotics for sponsoring this episode and for sponsoring our good times. Well, okay, since today had a sponsor in our video, we don't want to take too long with our break, so we'll just tell you that if you like my shirt, you can get it at whiskyambitions.com.
You can become a patron at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight and join our community for as little as $1 a month, and that is where we give out discounts on that merch Chad was talking about depending on your tier. The most exciting part, access to exclusive barrel picks, the opportunity to participate in some of those barrel picks, again depending on your tier, after the episode special content, and more.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Jackson's was up next, and while this store didn't have a huge selection, this was the place to be for store picks. Had to think long and hard about this Elijah Craig barrel proof pick and this Remus pick. More Buffalo Trace for $30, and they had Traveler for MSRP.
What a good little spot. Those guys were so nice and
Great
knowledgeable. Like, it's rare that we go into a place that whoever's behind the counter can give me tasting notes on their store picks when they have so many without even like looking at them or looking up anything. He just off the top of his head. It's like such great customer service.
You know, kind of the bar we've been using this episode is the price, people's prices of Eagle Rare. They didn't have any Eagle Rare there, but that's because when they do have it, they sell it for $45.
$45.
Whatever Total Wine has it for, they match it. So it's kind of like if every store sold it for suggested retail, then no one would pretty much ever have it unless you run into it on a truck day, right? So it's almost sort of like this pull and push, this, you know, this yin and yang.
Never ending. Yeah.
There's got to be some of those stores that have it for a higher price in case you're ever in a pinch and you need it, like for a gift or something like that. You know where you can find it. Yeah, you're gonna have to pay for it. Otherwise, if you're just trying to find the best price, you're gonna have to put in the work. You're gonna have to go to a store on their truck day, get it for that, you know, $45 if we're talking about Eagle Rare here.
It's like that Venn diagram we've talked about in the past, Chad. It's that, you know, price, convenience, and availability. You can have 2 of the 3, but you can't have them all. So some people pick, you know, convenience and availability, and some people pick price and availability, or price and convenience, I guess.
Yeah, but as far as the Midwinter Night's Dram goes,
still no luck.
no luck.
People are like, huh, no.
Big Daddy Liquors was our next attempt, and we're seeing the same stuff that we've been seeing all day. $200 for Stag Jr., $800 for George T. Stag. No Eagle Rare here for us to compare, though. And of course, no AMWND. That's a Midwinter's Night Dram, by the way. But one thing that was kind of unusual on today's hunt was the amount of Buffalo Trace that we've seen at places. Normally, it's not like that here.
They must have just got their deliveries.
Yeah, there must have been a truck here recently.
Is it fairly good selection, decent selection, prices pretty high. I guess, well, I mean, that's the 5th store.
We're not going to find it, are we?
But you know what? There's one more spot on the way home. However, it's kind of like what you were saying earlier. We haven't been to that location for a hunting video, but it is a Liquor Barn Express.
Well, it's a Liquor Barn Express. We haven't been to an Express before.
But we've been to a Liquor Barn before.
So it counts. You're going to need to let us have this
Okay, fine. Just let us have this one. We're going to see if we can find it.
They won't have it either.
They probably won't.
Liquor Barn Express is just a smaller version of a regular Liquor Barn, though this has the biggest selection we've seen all day. Here's the relatively new Lawrenceburg Bourbon Company, and here's Never Say Die and Frank August, both Wilderness Trail juice coincidentally, some Booker's, Old Hillside, haven't seen that before, some newer Hard Truth stuff, a Twisted Tea whiskey, okay, Ladder 9, man, we gotta get out more. Here's the new Dark Arts Whiskey House. This stuff is really good. Let us know if you want us to do a review on them. Lots of ways to spend around $100 in here, but no Midwinter Night's Dram. Oh hey, it's the 3-pack of the Hardin's Creek 17-year. Nice. Here's our biggest selection of High West products all day, but not the droid we're looking for. Last chance, is it in the glass case? Nope, which puts us in a glass case of emotions because we are done.
Well,
that was definitely the most High West that we saw of all of our stops, but not the one we were looking for. Again, not really surprised. It's out of season.
Yeah.
It's more of a fall release.
Yeah.
Seems like. I guess the good news is we already have some at home.
I know we haven't run out of time that we're allotted here, but it's getting dark.
We have a winter weather advisory.
Yeah, it's gonna start snowing. We could go out tomorrow, but I just really feel like we're not gonna find it. And if we do find it, it's not gonna be for a price that we're gonna want to pay with it being so out of season. So we're calling it.
Challenge failed.
Our first fail here, but as you said, we've got them. We got a bottle at home, and we're gonna go try it. So
at least you get to hear our tasting notes.
Let's go try it. All right, here we are back in the studio.
Just a couple of failures.
Yep, it's our first failure. Our record is now 2-1. We do have
a consolation prize?
Yeah, a consolation prize. This is Midwinter's Night Dram from a couple years ago. It's
Act 9, Scene 4, is that right? Yeah.
Now this was
a couple years back.
From our friends Jason and Natalie.
Patrons.
They're big
High West fans.
High West fans.
Well, they're out there in Utah, so it makes sense.
Yeah. The last one that we personally bought was 2020, but this is our most recent.
No, it's post-holidays. Chad really likes this around the holidays and not much else. So.
Well, I think that was more that first, our oldest, the Act 4.
Because this just is like a lot of rich berry, just like warm winter.
It's not so much Christmas in a glass.
No, it's like berries and spice.
Berries and spice. Yeah, very stone fruitish. Well, here we go to our failure.
Yep. I love this. I get why it's not for everybody, but it's for me. Love it. Super dark, jammy berries and stone fruit and pepper, a little vanilla, a little bit of like a toasted thing coming through. You get some oak. I just love it. I think it's great.
It's a little dry for me.
Not I. You know, the French oak, I think, explains that toasty vanilla, and the port explains that jammy berry thing going on. So
Yeah, it's not one that I think I would chase after a whole lot. You know, some people want to have every edition of something that comes out, like Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. They want A, B, and C. Bookers, they want 1, 2, 3, and 4.
What do you mean some people? That's you.
Well, we have a channel. And
Okay.
we kind of have to, right?
Sure.
If I didn't have a channel, I wouldn't go after every single thing, but I definitely wouldn't go after every act of this, just because it's not exactly where my palate is.
See,
but
I love it. I mean, if I had the means and we didn't have a channel, I was just, I mean, I am a regular person on the street, but
you're just a regular
old person. You know, a normie.
A normie. A non-channel.
Yes, a non-channel haver. I would try to get these when I could.
Although, you know what? Now, that just jogged a memory. The last time we saw one of these for sale was for $200.
Well, that was the Encore.
Oh, that was the Encore, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
but
Okay,
and I had
yeah.
FOMO, and we tried it, and it was good, but not $200 worth of good.
Correct, yeah. Well, all right, better luck for us next time. Hey, let us know down in the comments what you would like to see us hunt next. It is kind of random with the gumball machine, but we can always go
Give us a good
after,
option. We'll throw it in there.
Yeah, some categories or something like
Yeah.
that. But if you haven't subscribed to us already, you can do so by clicking right up here. There's suggestions of other videos down here. Hope to see you over there in one of those. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
All right, happy hunting. Until then, drink more bourbon.